So it's been a really long winter. We've had a lot of rain and it's been a long time coming, but finally it seems that spring is on its way with the second week of April, and I'm heading up to a local woodland where around about this time each year there's a pretty spectacular bloom of bluebells, and I was hoping that we'd get a little bit more sunlight today. The forecast was for partly cloudy, and unfortunately there's more part cloud than there is sun, and of course when you're doing woodland photography you do need a little bit more light because you have the canopy of trees, but we're not quite at the phase where there's a lot of foliage, so whatever light we have should come through. Around about this time of year you've got about 3 to 4 weeks where these bluebells are in bloom, and I'm here really early, and actually you can tell that it's the start because actually you have, if I show you, a mixture of these white flowers which are woodland anemones, not an easy word to say, I have to articulate that, and the bluebells aren't very tall, so it's really at the beginning of the period, and in a few weeks' time, these bluebells are going to get a lot taller. I actually want to try and find a little bit of contour in the landscape. What I'm trying to do is find a composition that breaks the verticals of the trees. Obviously, there's a lot of beech trees here, but I've actually found a tree that's fallen down. So I'm going to try and compose. So the fallen down tree gives me a little bit of horizontal interest as opposed to all those trees that are really in the vertical axis of the composition. So yeah, F9 seems to be working really well. I'm actually at reasonably high ISO, around about 1000 or so. And I've got the 70 to 200mm lens on, and I've really gone down to f2.8. So the composition I'm trying to actually get is drawing the viewer into the image by focusing on one single flower. Actually what's happened is I've got a very distinct focal plane in line with that specific flower, but the foreground's looking very nice. It's actually looking very soft and out of focus, which is exactly what I wanted. So this time I've got it in a landscape mode. Again, I want to get that horizon and show that depth, and yeah, I'm overexposing by a third at f2.8, and we'll see what we get. I've actually put a 100mm macro lens, and again I want to use a very shallow depth of field for this shot, so I'm wide open at f2.8. I'm going to try two different compositions, one focusing on the foreground tree trunk and then a second focusing on the background tree trunk. So let's have a look at how this goes. Okay, so this is the image with the foreground interest. Now I'm going to compose for the background, and again I'm going to do that with single point focus. So I'm not sure the second one worked, but the first one certainly did, so I might have a little play to see if I can make the second image work, because again there's a nice contour on the horizon there, so the horizon isn't straight, it actually comes down, so I might recompose slightly by moving back just to bring that element into the frame more and see if I can optimize the image. Right, so the reason I put the macro on originally was to really get some of the detail, and yeah, I've got to get the tripod really low for this. I think it's a classic composition, but it's so stunning, so beautiful. It would be a shame to go home without this particular image. So let's just take a look at how I've got this set up. So yeah, because I'm quite low down, I'm using the live view mode here, just focusing in on the top part of the flower. I'm at f7. I've actually got the ISO quite high exposed, just a third over, and again that's because haven't got the best of light today. But let's see if we can get this. Very productive morning. I guess when you're passionate about photography, sometimes when you have the images in mind you want to create and then actually get out in the field, you start playing. But that's a good thing generally. It's always a good idea to have a play when you've got the time. Try and be creative. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'm just starting my channel, so if you like what you see and you're interested in photography, then please subscribe, and I'll put the links below to my website and social media, and you can follow me and my photographic adventures there. Cheers, and see you next time.